Right, stuck in some slow moving traffic, so I may as well just make a video. So the best thing you can have in life is a skill. Now let's be real now, not everyone is going to be a banker, lawyer or doctor. I'm not. I'm from an electrical background. I used to be an electrician, but now I'm an electrical commissioner. So what I do is they send me in to go and inspect and test electricians' work to make sure it's done properly, so it's correct and it's safe. So like some people, I kind of just like flew through school. I didn't really care about school or anything like that. Now if you're young and you're still in school, make sure you study and do the best you can so you have better and more options. But I kind of just messed around and I just flew through school, just came out with my 7 A star to C's. I just got 7 C's basically, and I didn't know what to do, so my mother told me that I should go to college and get a trade like an electrician, because one, she said obviously there's something that I can always fall back on, and secondly, my mum has a cousin who's the same age as her, and he was doing quite well at the time, still is, you know, he's got his own house and got a nice car and stuff, you know, he looks well, you know, he looks after himself. So obviously she wanted me to kind of follow that example. You know, I'm from a working class background, so my mum's not really expecting me to become no lawyer or no doctor like that, you know. She wasn't that, so it is what it is. So came out of school, done my level 2 in electrical installation. I was able to get onto level 2 and not level 1 because I have GCSEs. So starts at level 2, that's 1 year. Level 3, that's another year. And then the advanced apprenticeship, which is a 3rd year. You can only do that once you have an apprenticeship, obviously. All 3 of those, you need all 3 of those to basically be a competent electrician. And then straight after that, I was going to do like an electrical design course to become a designer, but they told me I have to do an inspection and testing course, which would have been a 4th year. So I did that, and that enabled me to become an electrical commissioner. So I was going to still do the design course, but I said forget that, let me go to university. And I studied in HNC in electronic engineering. And good thing I did go to uni, because that's what led me to start my vending machine business. And it so happens I'm actually going to fill the vending machine up right now. So if you haven't seen the video about how much I make in a month, go and check that one out. So yeah, so I started, you know, I've done my level 2, 3 advanced apprenticeship, and then inspection and testing, and then my electronic engineering HNC. Now, the thing with a trade, the reason why it's so good is you can go anywhere in the world, right? I'm in England, London, but if I want to go down under and go to Australia or Papua New Guinea or Turkmenistan, there will always be a job for me. How easy? I don't know, but there will always be work around. Trust me. When you're an electrician, when you have a skill, people will always need you. And it's always good to be useful around the house as well, because you can save yourself a bit of money. Now, obviously, I don't know how to do plumbing or anything like that, so there's always going to be someone else I'm going to need to pay. But it's always good to be a bit useful around the house, at least. For some strange women, I don't know why, but women find it attractive when a man is really hands-on. So anyway, it's always good to be useful around the house. Now, with my profession, I can just walk out of a job and get another one within a week or 2. Sometimes I've walked out of a job on a Monday and then I've had one on Tuesday, but that's usually because I've lined something up. But they always need electricians. Now, I only do electrical commissioning work, so the work that I do is a bit more limited than being an electrician. But if you're just a basic standard electrician, you could never not be in work. Now, you might not have a job where you're driving around in a van, but you will have a job where you could work on a construction site. Like where I'm right now, they're actually building some kind of probably flats. You know how it is in London. Everywhere they're erecting new flats and stuff. But when you've got a skill, people will always need you. So I earn averagely around £24-25 per hour. And when I work, I bloody well work, because when I'm not at home, I'm just working on other stuff, YouTube and other stuff that I'm trying to pursue. So I've got other investments elsewhere, which I'll get into a bit later, in a few months' time, with the YouTube videos. So anyway, so I earn about £25 per hour. When I work, I bloody well work. So I'm quite happy to do 12-hour days, 5 days a week, even 6 or 7. I'm happy to do, like, you know, 7 days a week doing 12-hour shifts. I can do that. So if I do a 60-hour week, I should be able to walk away with £1,000 in my pocket. So after tax, £1,000. Now you do that 4 times, which is all, 4 weeks, you're gonna walk away with £4,000. Like, guys, you don't need to sell drugs, just get a flipping trade. Honestly, could you imagine what it would be like to have £4,000 in your pocket every single month? Like, I'm a good saver and I'm quite stingy with my money, so I don't go out and splash out. You don't see me wearing Givenchy. This is flipping Zara. But if I was one of those people who are really concerned with my image, I have to wear the latest stuff all the time, oh my god, I would be looking the best, because I know most of you lot watching this don't earn £4,000 in a month, and I can earn that easily, so long as there's the hours, and so long as there's especially if I'm doing overtime as well. I'll be gone. If I'm doing overtime, I remember once, right, I was doing 80 hours a week at where they're the Spurs Stadium, Tottenham Football Stadium. It's still not complete now anyway, and I'm doing this video in February, but anyway, I was working there and I was doing 80-hour weeks. Now obviously 80-hour weeks are not normal, but I was taking home after tax 1,800. When you work for agencies, you get paid on a weekly basis as well. So on a weekly basis, I was earning 1,800. Now, if some of you lot were earning that money, you lot would be driving Porsches. I just drive a Honda. But anyway, if you get a trade, if you have a skill, you can go anywhere in the world. It's so important. You don't need to go out there and sell drugs. Just get a trade. But you're gonna have to make that sacrifice. You're gonna have to make the sacrifice of 3-4 years of your life, right? Because let's be honest, not all of us are going to be business people and be running businesses and entrepreneurs. Some of us are just going to have basic 9-to-5s, and that's your fate. Now, it doesn't have to be, but I can come up on here and preach all day long, say, oh yeah, start your own business, but it's not going to happen. Most of you lot are just going to watch this and say, yeah, it sounds like a nice story, but then as soon as you turn this off and go and watch another video or whatever, then you're just going to go back to, your normal life and just go back to your 9-to-5. You have that dream, you look out the window and think, yeah, I could achieve that. But nah, I'd rather be comfortable with my 9-to-5. But anyway, you don't need to sell drugs, right? Just get a decent trade. You don't have to be an electrician, you could be a gas engineer or even a plumber, it's up to you, but you'll be way more useful and you will be able to get a job much more easier. Like, they are crying out for people who are electricians. The best skill you could have is like a trade or something like that, or maybe like a mechanic. Even then, I still class mechanics as obviously being in the trade. So best thing you could do is get a trade, get a skill. You can never forget how to be an electrician. You will always be an electrician. Even my auntie's boyfriend said this and it made me laugh. He's so right. He said, even if you have one hand, you don't have to be on the tools, right? So that means you don't have to be on the job physically, but you can mentor people. All you have to do is tell someone what to do here and there. So even if you have one hand, even if, God forbid, you're in a wheelchair, you could still be an electrician, you could still be a mentor and get paid for that. So you can't go wrong with a trade, especially if you're earning £4,000 a week, right? £4,000 a month, right? Which I do, so long as I'm working, £4,000 a month. That's just at the bottom. If you're a supervisor, you could be earning more. When I was doing those 80-hour weeks at that Tottenham football ground, one of the supervisors, when I went for a supervisor's course, which I passed, there was another guy that I used to work alongside on the same team. He was there and he told me that one of our supervisors, when he done all the hours, 80 hours plus a few bonus hours from when you arrive to work on time, he was earning about, I think, £2,500 take home, but he was getting overtime rates and bonuses and stuff. So imagine being on £10,000 per month take home. Imagine taking on £10,000. You don't be driving Ferraris. So the best thing you could do is just get a skill. You don't need to be out on the road selling drugs or anything like that. Trust me. And even then, even with the skill as well, after you finish your 9-to-5, say for example you have a basic 9-to-5, right? Work doesn't stop there. You go and do private jobs for other people and build up your own clientele. I've got people that I do work for privately. Even with this community centre I'm going to now, I installed lights for them because I was buying and selling lights from the Habitat store, and now they get me to, I'm like their personal electrician. I go and do bits and pieces, jobs here and there. Now I don't really do much because they haven't called me of lately, but still. So it's always good to have a trade, because you can always work outside of work. Work never stops. You can, you know, weekends and stuff, you're doing your own thing. So if you like the video, subscribe. If you don't like the video, change the station.